Guys, I don't even have any. Hi guys, I'm jumping in here to say hi and to have some conversations around real estate. But I wanted to find out from you guys, what are some of the things that you would like to get answers to when it comes to real estate? I'm always kind of talking to agents in the office and newer agents that I'm kind of helping them with different things and giving them some input and explaining things to them. And I realized I'm not sure what the regular public might want to know. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about the market, right? You've seen me talk about that. But what I wanted to make sure that if you could, please put some topics down below that you would like to get answers to. So I'm going to talk to you today about appraisals, like what sets the value in a home. And if you have a home, what could you do with that equity? Okay, so this is for homeowners. If you own a house, if you live in a neighborhood and you know that the house down the street just sold with multiple offers, it went for way above asking, it may have actually gone for above appraised value. Give you an example. I have a client that we submitted an offer on, and the offer that beat us out, literally the house was like $525 or so. The offer that beat us out, we paid $585. The house is not worth on paper $585 appraised value, but they had no appraisal contention. They were cash buyers, so they were willing to pay that. So now the house basically sold for $50,000 more than what the value of the house really is. What does that mean to the rest of the neighborhood? Well, the rest of the neighborhood, their prices just went up. Like their values of their homes went up. So if you're a homeowner of in a neighborhood and you know houses are selling for way more, that means you probably have equity in your home. Well, what can you do with your equity if you have it in a house? Well, equity is great because you owe less than what the house is worth, right? Well, how can you use it? Well, you have multiple options. One, if you've been in the house more than 2 years, you can technically sell your house and take that money and put it in the bank and not have to pay capital gains. If you don't want to sell because you love the neighborhood, you love your house, and you want to stay there, you can take advantage of the equity by doing an equity line. It's basically a credit card, but it's using your home as a collateral. And you can use that card anytime you want to. If you don't use it, there's no charge on it. But if you, let's say you want to redo your kitchen and you want to put it on your equity line, so you can actually put it on your equity line and then pay it off. Interest rates on those are much lower than regular credit cards. Now, let's say that you say, hey, you know what? I have so much equity in my home right now that I can probably get rid of PMI, principal mortgage insurance. What principal mortgage insurance is, if you did not put more than 20% down, a lot of times you'll have to pay that. That's a lender thing that you have to pay it. And it goes into a pot. And if somebody defaults on the payment, then the money from there goes to handle that, right? So most people that if you didn't put the 20% down, you might have a PMI charge on your mortgage. If you're not sure if you do, call your lender and find out. Well, if you have more than 20% of equity in your home, you could get rid of the PMI. Some lenders will let you do that and stay with the loan and don't have to refinance. You just basically have to pay for an appraisal, and if it shows that you have 20% of equity, they remove that off your loan. Majority of the lenders will require that you actually go ahead and refinance. So in other words, you have to do the paperwork like you're buying a loan, but you're not going to buy the house, right? And then they do the appraisal, and then you do the paperwork, you sign for it, and you get a new loan number on it. And now your payment will be less because you don't have PMI. Also, if you have a higher interest rate than 3.7, right now the refinanced interest rates are actually sitting around low threes. So 3.1, 3.25 is what I'm seeing from my lenders. So if you have a 3.7 interest rate and you're paying PMI, by refinancing, you could drop your monthly payment up to about $300 a month potentially on a $300 and something thousand house. So that's one of the other things that you could do if you're currently a homeowner. You can use the equity to maybe pay off some debt, refinance to drop the PMI, maybe take out and refinance and take that cash and maybe go and invest in another property and get rental properties. There's a lot of things that you can do with equity in your homes. Now, don't do this. Don't go and take an equity or refinance, take the cash out, pay off debt, and then you run up your credit cards again, and you now have a higher payment. And all, it doesn't make any sense, right? So make sure you have a game plan, a true game plan on it. So I just want to kind of talk about what the values are doing and what options you have. Now, if you want to know what's happening in your neighborhood, DM me your name, your email, and your address. And then that way what I can do is I can set you up what we call a market neighborhood market watch, and I can send you an email once a month. It's automated. It shows you how many houses have been sold, how many houses have been actually right now in the market, what the average sales price is, what the average days on the market is, all that kind of information that's there. So here's a bunch of information that I just gave you. Really, I just want to talk about what's happening if you have equity in the house. What is driving prices up in the market right now is lack of supply. Okay, so lack of supply is what's causing values on the homes. So supply and demand is not matching up. There's no equilibrium here. There is low supply, high demand. People are willing to pay more. People are willing to pay way more than even appraised value, what the house is worth. I don't want you, if you're a buyer, go, oh my gosh, because of that, I don't want to buy. I don't want to overpay for my house. Like I said earlier, once the house closes, then that is the new comp, and all the other houses in the neighborhood just went up in value as well, right? And because interest rates are lower, it's still good for buyers to get into it versus renting somewhere. So this is a little bit of information I wanted to give you about how, if you own a house, how can you utilize some of the equity. If you want to know what your house equity is sitting on, you know, Zillow's estimates and Redfin's estimates, those estimates, they're not accurate. At the end of the day, you want to talk to a professional like me. I can kind of talk to you about what your house, is it upgraded, is it not? And I'll be more than happy to send you a CMA to let you know what I think your values are sitting at. And then you can make an informed decision about, you know, do you want to sell your house? Do you want to refinance your house? Equity line? What do you want to do with it, right? Or you can just sit there and do nothing and just be excited because you now have equity in your house. So there's my little tidbit of information today. I do want you to put down here or DM me or send me a text or smoke signal. Let me know what topics you want me to cover. My goal now is to go ahead and do more videos and give more information out there, because I understand that there's quite a bit of you that you're getting information from different sources. And I want to make sure that you're hearing it from somebody that's actually doing this full time, doing it at a high level, have enough transactions to really give you some good information as far as examples that's happening in the market. And so I want to be a resource to you guys. So if you need me, 404-844-9406, or send me a DM with your name, your address that you live in, a little bit of information about your house so I can kind of know a little bit about that. And then I will send you a market snapshot, and I can send you a CMA, a comparable market analysis. Have a good one. Make it a great one. And happy hump day and happy Cinco de Mayo.